Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lyrical Psychology. It's Coach Erica Reynolds.
And I'm Coach Dominique Curran.
Coach, today we're doing a song that I remember jamming as a little girl. Coach is probably, what the heck do you have me listening to today? But I'm excited about it. It's Bobby Brown, On Our Own.
Okay.
Do you a little more enthusiasm?
It's great. I'm excited.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why I like this song so much. This song was actually a part of the Ghostbusters. I think it was Ghostbusters. It was one of it was like maybe Ghostbusters 2 or something to that effect. And it's when they had to battle Vigo. So I don't know if it was Ghostbusters 2 or 3, but it's On Our Own. I absolutely love this song because to me, it really talked about, like, these were some wonderful guys, these Ghostbusters there, right? And I think Bobby, he was jamming, he was hot back then, and he just came in and did his thing on this song, and it really was motivating. So anyway, this is what we're listening to today. Coach, any preliminary thoughts on it?
Not really. I'm just really going to listen to this song on a whim. I think I've heard of the title, not saying that I'm very familiar with the lyrics. So you're going to get my authentic reaction once again. So be kind to me.
That's what they want. They want your authentic reaction. It's all
right.
good.
Okay.
So without further ado, here we go. This is Bobby Brown, On Our Own. Shout out to Bobby. Love the Ghostbusters movies. Those were my favorites. And we're going to get ready to jam. Get some good 90s feel good going on here. This rap part that Bobby did setting this song up, right? To me, it's more about the song, the Ghostbusters and stuff. So if we remember the first Ghostbusters movies, they came in, they saved the day, they got rid of the ghosts and slime things. But in this following movie, part 2, they were really looked upon as some quacks and they lost their golden touch. People weren't believing in them. They actually even maybe thought that they're the ones that released this stuff out here and messed up the city. And at the end of the day, these guys are professors, they're scientists, they're brilliant people, and they're working kids' parties. So that's what he's saying. Got them throwing a party for a bunch of children. And all the while, slime is under the building. Like, this stuff is coming, but you all aren't allowing them to be the greatness they need to be, because I think there was some kind of restrictions put on their ability to fight these ghosts. So there's stuff happening. And now they've been subjected to throw kids' parties because people think they're quacks. So that setup of that in that song, I'm just going to take it to present day, Coach. How many people, how many of y'all out there, y'all know you got it going on. You're smart. You are the thing. But you go out here and you get with the wrong people or work for the wrong company, and they're going to have you dancing around, so to speak, doing some things that you know are way under your league and under your pay grade kind of thing to do. That's how they set my boys up. So anyway, that's the intro of it, Coach. Any early thoughts on that?
No, that's good. That's good that it's synonymous with the movie, because I love Ghostbusters. I think it was a great movie. But I also can relate to what you're saying about these people being brilliant and they're being relegated to just throwing kids' party, when it's almost like you're not utilizing them for what they were designed to do and what they do best. Because in your mind, you made it so that they are just good enough to serve a certain purpose. But their purpose is much more expansive than that. Like you said, in certain companies that happens, right? They don't give you that seat at the table, but sometimes when there's blockage there, it's not because you're not capable, it's because they know that you're more than capable. And maybe they're intimidated by your greatness, because if they provide you with that seat at the table, then ideally you might overshadow their contributions when they may be sitting right next to you. And so now they no longer feel as important as they once did. But guess what? Your assignment is your assignment, and nobody can stop your greatness. Nobody can stop your greatness.
Nobody can stop your greatness. And so I love that. You nailed it. You nailed it. And that's what that's what I like about this song, because to me, that's the message. And so the rest of this plays into that. And he says they packed up and got equipped, got gripped. They grabbed their proton packs on their backs and they split, like they figured it out. So they were doing, while they were throwing kids' parties, There's the slime under the building. They set up here, so you know what? They got a grip about what was going on and who they were. They packed up their stuff and said, let's go roll and take care of this. And y'all know you have to do this. Who we playing? Who we playing with? Right? I like it. We're gonna keep going.
I can tell your whole mood changed. Your whole mood changed, Coach. That's it.
They're getting down to the nitty gritty now. I always say that. They're like, okay.
That's your segue into getting deeper.
That's the segue to getting deeper, Coach. Because in this it says, if I was you and you were me, you want to be winning. If you want something bad, you got to want to give your all. Because I believe so much in we, and no, we're not kidding. If you feel the same as me, you got to want to take the ball. So it's, you know what? If you understand this, I'm about winning. I know what I've put into place. I know the work that I mean. I know who I am. And I want to get this done. And I'm not going to sit around, or I'm tired of sitting around waiting for somebody to put me in the game. So if you understand that I'm not kidding, and you're really about winning and not kidding and waiting for somebody to bring you into something, you're going to take that ball and you're going to go right down the court with it. Right. Which is what they had to do in this movie. The Ghostbusters, they had to go ahead and take control of this situation, basically because the whole city was in danger. And the people in charge weren't taking them seriously. You've got the most brilliant men who have proven they could take care of this. And yes, there may have been some destruction, and no, everything wasn't perfect, but who else are you going to get to do it? And so are you going to sit around and wait for somebody to say, okay, go ahead and do it, when you know there's so much on the line if you don't? This is for that hero and the family or somebody at work, whatever's going on. You don't just sit and wait for somebody to say, okay, now you can, if you know who you are. And you know what you have to offer. Don't wait for destruction. Don't wait for time. Don't wait for somebody to, okay, I believe in you. You're going to, if you want to win, you know, you got to take the ball, because you're not kidding about it. So that's the first part of the song there. What do you think, Coach?
I love that. Basically, what I took from what you were saying is creating your own opportunity. Sometimes we feel as though we can't move unless an opportunity is presented to us via somebody else. But ideally, you can make your own opportunities if you believe in yourself and you also understand what you have to offer, which is happening in today's world. A lot of entrepreneurs are understanding that in order for their gifts to be shared, they don't need a company to actually open a door for them for a job. They can create their own opportunities because ideally they have everything they need to do in order to be successful. It's just about them getting the ball rolling and taking that next step. But it starts with confidence. And so that line actually speaks to him having self-efficacy, or these individuals having self-efficacy and believing in themselves and understanding that once I believe what I'm capable of doing, nobody can stop me. And so now I am compelled to do it. And so that's what I took.
That is so right, Coach. And you nailed it. We're bringing in those psychological terms, that self-efficacy. That is really what this song is speaking to. And maybe that's what resonates. It's understanding that I have the power to control my situation or to make it better, that I'm not going to wait for someone to improve it for me, right? That song is all about this. So next verse is, he says, now I find out that nothing is given. Don't know where the cards may fall. All I know is that we've got to get it. We've got to make it on our own. I guess we're going to have to take control. If it's up to us, we've got to take it home. Love that part. It emphasizes what we've already been talking about. Nothing is given. I don't know what's going to happen, especially if I let my future or the situation stay within someone else's hands and in control. So why not put my best foot forward in this? Why not do everything that I can, since we don't know how it's going to turn out if they do it or if I do it, but at least if I do it, I know I'm going to put my best foot forward and work my best to get this done. I know what I'm capable of doing. So he says, we've got to make it on our own. We're going to have to do this. And so I love that part. I guess we're going to have to take control, because it's like you're sitting there, you're waiting for somebody to give you permission. Everybody's looking around. Who's the one that's going to save us from this situation? Again, bringing in current times and vibe. Who's the one that's going to come save us? I guess we're going to have to take control. If it's up to us, we got to take it home, whatever that looks like. Meaning more so, what are you going to do to help you in that situation that you're in? Is it business? Are you going to create your own business now? Are you going to go back to school and get a degree? What are you going to do? And what the Ghostbusters did is they took control and handled the things with those ghosts. But that's really what this song is talking about. Any final thoughts before we go into the next part of the song?
No, I'm ready for the next verse.
Okay, very good. All
Coach, you're
right.
vibing. You're vibing.
I am. You should have seen me when I was a little girl. Girl, the situation I grew up in, and I was just, I said the youngest is 6, and I was just so frustrated about like how we got to do something. We're mediocre. And I'm like 8 or however old I was when this came out. And I would just be jamming this in the car because I understood that self-efficacy. What can we do? What am I going to do when I get older?
Yes.
And so in that, here we go. He says, now can't you see that all we need to be a go-getter? You got to make your own decisions. You got to go for what you know. It comes a time in our lives you want to be bigger. You got to keep on pushing. You got to learn to take control. I think that is really relevant, especially now in the times we're in. And I know I have a daughter that's a Gen Zer, right? And it's really helping even our kids to understand that if you're wanting to do something, you want to be bigger, you see yourself as being one of these, whether it's a YouTube star, whether it's a model, whether it's a scientist, a dog, whatever it is, you've got to be able to make that decision to do that yourself. You cannot wait for somebody to grant that to you. That happens sometimes. I could be on the street walking, and somebody say, we've heard those stories like, you should be a model. But now the ones that are becoming these models, the ones that are becoming these online social media sensations, and they're building their wealth. Country Wayne's a really good example of that. B. Simone, they took it in their own control. They said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create it myself. And I don't care what anybody says because I want to be winning. I see myself as being bigger. And then they did it and created opportunity for everybody else. Coach.
Yep. I think you just summed it up, right? If you wait, you may be waiting forever. If you wait for someone else to create the opportunity or hand you essentially your dreams, like this is your dreams. What are you willing to do in order to make those dreams go from just being a figment of your imagination to coming into being or fruition? You know, and it takes action. So what actions are you going to take? Yeah, maybe as you go along your journey and you start putting your best foot forward, opportunities may present themselves in the form of other people or in the form of organizations taking interest in you, but you have to take control and get the ball rolling. Like, for instance, when we talked about being a YouTube sensation or being a model, increasing your visibility online and growing your audience. Yeah, that might be the impetus to get the ball rolling for people to have eyes on you and then open up subsequent doors thereafter. But you have to do something and you have to take that first initial step to take control. So that's what I took.
No, that's absolutely right. I love, like, it's simple, but he's really giving a formula. He's walking us through this, right? This is what you need. If you want to be a winner, you know, you want something bad enough, you're going to have to give it your all. You're going to have to be serious about it, but you're going to have to be a go-getter in this next part, right? You're going to have to be a go-getter in it. You've got to make your own decisions. You've got to go for what you know. Now, going for what you know is also educating yourself. Okay. So I want to add that in there. It's not, I know this already. Again, the Ghostbusters had already done the work. They were educated on it. They were experts in this. They knew it was what it was. And so then they had to be go-getters and say, we're going to put this out here. I know this is a problem. We know how to solve this. We can't sit here and listen to people who haven't done half the research or extensively about something when I know what I'm talking about. I'm heavily educated in it. I'm tried and true. I've executed. I know this. So now it's a point of just doing it. It's no longer waiting for permission when you're at that level of something. And I want people to understand that too. So it's, you know it because you've done the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then it's time. There's nothing else. No more research mode. Go ahead.
I love what you said about the education part, but I think I want to just bring a little bit of clarity to the education component, because sometimes when people talk about education, they automatically think about the world of, I guess, academics.
Right.
Or academia. It's not always that type of education. but being well versed in what you're
Mhm.
trying to do, understanding the ins and outs of it, whether that be getting a certification, whether that mean or joining certain professional networks, learning the business, having a mentor, having a
That's right.
coach. That's all a form of education. Reading books, that's all a form of education. That doesn't mean you have to invest several years of your life in order to get this education, but you have to understand the basics before you can actually start to build your foundation. Because if not, you're going to build something on a shaky foundation. And it's better to learn something up front versus figure it out along the way and then fail at it. But understand that even if there's failure in it, there's opportunity for growth as well. So essentially, that's what I had to say about the
No, I
education.
love it. And that's true, because what I intended by education was it's informing yourself. You don't have to, like, how did I educate myself on being the great cook that I self-proclaimed great cook? I used to watch TV.
Yeah. Did
I
you go to
watched
culinary school?
I didn't go to culinary school.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
brother-in-law was a chef and I watched him. And then I watched PBS in the summer because we didn't go anywhere. And so I would watch the cooking shows on there. And then I
Mhm.
would practice and I would read the cooking books.
Mhm.
So I didn't go to school. And so it's wherever you get your information make sure that it's accurate. Excuse me. Wherever you get your information from, make sure that it's accurate. But education is informing yourself and teaching yourself how to do that, however that is. It could be formal through school, it could be
Mhm.
through television, like Coach said, but making sure that it's accurate. But if you know
Mhm.
what you know and you've tried it, right? If I've watched how to make this strawberry cake and I've read recipes about it and I've watched it on TV and now I'm making it myself and I've practiced. I don't just watch it, make it once and say, oh, and some people have that gift to do, that's fine. But I've
Mhm.
practiced making it to where I've perfected this recipe. I've talked to some people about it. They've tasted it, it's great. Then I got to stand on that. I know
Mhm.
how to make this strawberry cake and it's good. And I'm going to push it out to sell it or make it for a birthday or whatever it is. I have to have confidence in the work I've done and the testing that I've done to make sure that this is accurate and done. That's all we're saying. If you've done that, then you need to move on it. Move forward, be
Exactly.
confident in where you are and move on it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here we go. That now, I'm sorry that he brought the rap back. So after all that interpretation, all the explaining, he reiterates again how they started. He's reminding you, this is how they had them. They had their thumb on them, I say. Had relegated them to a side gig of planning kids' parties, and these people had the capability, the skill set, and the expertise to save the whole freaking city. Who resonates with that out there?
I bet a lot of people.
I bet a lot of people. And then he said, they're in control. They're in control.
Mhm.
So once they understand and they're stepping into their greatness and owning who they are, then it's time for them to control the situation. It's time for them to understand we can't wait for permission. We're going to have to do this on our own. Stop playing around at these kids' parties, get a grip. Let's get our stuff together and let's control this situation. And that's what they did. But it wasn't selfish. They did it because they knew that this would save thousands and thousands of other people doing this, hundreds of millions, really, if you're looking at New York. That's where it was, I believe. They're saving millions. And so I
Mhm.
want you all to think about, what is it that you have? What's that gift? What is that thing? What is that knowledge that you have that
Mhm.
could benefit so many people? And you have access because the internet, it's global.
Mm.
And you're sitting on it because someone has told you or made you feel like you're this small. Someone has not validated you in your greatness. But you know better for yourself. You know what's
Mhm.
eating at you. You know what you have. You know what you're capable of. That's when it's time for you to own it. You got to step out on faith. You got to own it, and you got to take control of your life and your future. And there's so many other people. Let me tell you something. Those are written in the movie. those are the government or whoever that wasn't validating them, millions of people validated them when they saved them. They were happy to see them. They were glad about it. Validated the heck out of them. Stop waiting for this little circle, your little box of people to validate you. Box of people to validate you. You get it out there and you get it going. Own your future. That's what I got. It's just a nice little refresher. I think it's something that people need to think about, because today's times, people are feeling discouraged. They're feeling down. I want you to know that you've got the power within yourself to do it. You've got the knowledge, you've got the means, you've got the resources as far as information available, avenues to get it out there and be who you're going to be and decipher. But you've got to get outside of your box. You got to own the process. Educate yourself, practice, become the expert, and get it out. You got to get it out.
Coach, that was a strong message. You had quite a bit of gems in that, but I do understand what you're talking about. What I love most about this song is that these guys who are so brilliant, they're not allowing their current circumstances and what their current assignment is to change or alter who they know that they are and what their future assignment is, if that makes sense. And I think sometimes in situations, we have these big goals and dreams and aspirations to become something. But yet in our current situation, we feel like that is just something we can aspire to become, and it's far out of reach. But all we have to do is really just understand and know the power that we have, the gifts that God has instilled inside of us to reach, to get that breakthrough, to go to the next level, because you have to believe in yourself. And when you start to believe in yourself and your gifts, that's going to translate into the actions that you take and how hard you push. And if you could keep pushing, you're going to reach that point of actualization. What seemed far off at one point in time, now you understand that I can achieve it. And I feel like we have to not succumb to our current circumstances and situations and keep pushing through until we get to that breakthrough and understanding who we are. Because you're still gifted, no matter if you have the biggest home on the block or you have the smallest home. That doesn't take away from your gifts. You still have that power and those gifts inside of you. And so that's all. That's the only thing that I had to say.
No, that's great. I think I know there are people out there that needed to hear that. So thank you for sharing that, Coach. Absolutely. I say thank you, Bobby Brown. That song has carried me through a long time. I love it. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there. You have a song. What's the song that you grew up with that just did something for you? It inspired you. It made you think about great times or empowerment. So share it with us in the comments. I want to hear it. We want to hear it. We want to hear it. Maybe we'll play it.
Or even when you were feeling at your lowest, it uplifts you, right?
Absolutely.
There's those songs that uplift us and make us snap out of it. Because sometimes we're in that mode where it's woe is me. If I don't want to live to see another day, or sometimes it gets that heavy on us. So what song has inspired you, has motivated you, has uplifted your spirit, and caused you to come out of a dark place? Share that with others. You don't know who might need it. And so we want you to share it with us in the comments so we can analyze it and hopefully pass on that contagiousness of motivating other people, getting them out of a dark place.
Absolutely. Look, Bobby said we're on our own. We're gonna have to take control. So let's help ourselves get empowered and bring us up out of this funk that people are in, because it is up to us to live the life that the good Lord put us here to live, and to reach out and get that life. Don't just sit here on it. There's going to be plenty of good and bad things that happen. This isn't the only time. There's been so much in history, but we've made it through and we'll continue to do that. So thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Bobby, for the motivation. Thank you, Coach, for entertaining me with this song. She didn't want to do it.
Don't tell my business, Coach. Leave that between us.
I'm like, no, we're doing a song. This is a good one. Somebody out there hears me.
I'm glad we did it. Hey, I had reservations at first. I was a bit apprehensive approaching it, but I am glad overall that we did it. There you
He's
have
glad
it.
we did it. Thank you, Coach.
Yes.
Not the box, but the heart this time. All right. Thank you for watching Lyrical Psychology, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right. Bye-bye. We're signing off.
Take control. All right.